I used to avoid mirrors and bright light because I was scared of what I'd see under my own hairline. It wasn't my skin. It was the haircut. 5 hairstyles quietly add years to a woman's face, and most of us are still wearing at least one of them without knowing it. Today I'm walking you through all 5, and I'm giving you the exact replacement for each one, so you leave this video knowing precisely what to ask for the next time you're in the chair. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and the best fixes for women over 50, so you get real results, fast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. The blunt bob that's boxing you in. Here's the part nobody explains at the salon. A blunt, one-length bob was built for thick, cooperative hair in someone's 20s. On a woman over 50, gravity has already softened the jaw, and a hard straight line at the chin does something specific. It draws a horizontal bar right across the widest part of the face and boxes it in. You've maybe felt this without naming it. You get the cut, it looks sharp in the mirror for the first 10 minutes, and then somewhere around week 2 you start feeling like your face looks heavier than it is. That's not your face changing. The fix is a soft, graduated bob with layers that start at the cheekbone and lengthen down toward the jaw. Ask for this exact phrase. Graduated layers, longest point at the jaw, softened ends. What this does mechanically is break that one solid horizontal line into several shorter diagonal ones. Diagonal lines lift. Horizontal lines widen. That's the entire physics of it. The layers also let the hair move slightly with your head instead of swinging as one rigid block, which reads as younger before anyone even registers why. I had a client tell me this exact story a few months back. She'd worn the same blunt bob for 15 years because it was her cut. The one thing she never touched. She sat down, we softened the line at the jaw, added just enough graduation to let it breathe, and she didn't say anything for a solid minute. Then she said, Part 2, the heavy straight across bang. That classic and safe cut is a heavy, blunt bang cut straight across the brow. It was sold to us for decades as foolproof. It isn't. A straight across bang at this length does 2 things at once, and both work against you. First, it sits low and static across the forehead, which shortens the face and can make the eyes look smaller and more shadowed underneath it. Second, because it doesn't move, it ages faster than any other section of hair. It goes flat, it shows regrowth lines within days, and it demands a trim every 3 weeks or it stops work. The fix is a soft side-swept curtain fringe, parted and blended into the rest of the style rather than cut as its own separate block. Ask for this phrase. Curtain fringe feathered and blended at the part, no hard line. Mechanically, this opens the forehead instead of closing it off. The fringe pieces sweep past the temples and frame the face the way a good picture frame works, drawing the eye toward the center rather than cutting it off at a line. It also grows out gracefully instead of looking wrong the day after week 3. Here's what actually shifts once this is done. A heavy straight bang reads as maintenance heavy and oddly, a little defensive, like something is being hidden. A soft curtain fringe reads as intentional and low effort in the best sense. Part 3, the flat, single process color. That color choice is flat, single process dye, one uniform shade, root to end, usually chosen to match natural hair color as closely as possible, or to fully cover gray in one solid tone. It feels like the responsible option. It's actually the one doing the most damage to how youthful your hair reads, because as skin softens and loses some of its natural contrast with age, flat hair color removes the last bit of dimension your face has left to work with. Everything goes one note. And one note, on a mature face, flattens rather than flatters. The fix is low-maintenance dimensional color, soft face framing highlights, or a subtle balayage placed specifically around the hairline and part, not throughout the whole head. Ask for this exact phrase. Low-lift face framing highlights, concentrated at the part and hairline, blended into the base color. The mechanism here is light. Dimensional color creates tiny variations in tone that catch light differently across the surface of the hair. And that variation is what our eyes read as movement, texture, and life. Flat color absorbs light evenly and reads as one flat plane. Dimensional color scatters it, and scattered light is what makes hair look lit from within instead of just colored. There's a real bonus here too, one most women don't expect. Because the highlights are placed only at the hairline and part, regrowth is far less visible between salon visits. The blend does the disguising work that a flat root normally can't. What used to require a color appointment every 4 weeks can often stretch to 8 or 10. Because there's no longer a hard line where old growth meets new dye. Less upkeep, more dimension. That's not usually a trade you get to make, but this one gives you both. So the swap. Before, flat single process color in one uniform tone from root to end. After, dimensional face framing highlights concentrated at the part and hairline, blended softly into the base. The second one looks more expensive and actually costs less to maintain. The next mistake isn't about color or cut shape at all. It's about length. And it's the one I get the most pushback on, because it goes against everything we were taught about appropriate hair after 50. Part 4. The overly long, undefined length. Here's the pushback I always get. Shouldn't hair be shorter as we get older? No. That's not the actual rule, and it never was. The real problem isn't length at all. It's length with no shape. Hair that's grown out long simply because cutting it feels like a decision nobody wants to make, with no layering, no face framing structure, just length existing on its own. Undefined long hair pulls the whole face down. It sits heavy at the sides, adds visual weight exactly where you don't want it, and with no layers to catch light or movement. It reads as tired rather than long and flowing the way it might have at 25. The fix isn't to cut it short. The fix is long layers with lift specifically built at the crown and through the mid-lengths. Ask for this phrase. Long layers, lift at the crown, movement through the mid-length, length preserved. This keeps every inch you want to keep, but it redistributes weight, so the hair has somewhere to go besides straight down. Lift at the crown does something particularly powerful on a mature face. It elongates the whole head shape and lifts the eye upward, which works directly against the downward pull that flat length creates. I want to be specific about what changes, because movement is a word that gets thrown around without ever being explained. When hair has real layering through the mid-length, it catches air when you walk, it settles differently every time you turn your head, and it photographs with visible separation instead of one solid mass. That visible separation is what reads as healthy and alive rather than simply grown out. You keep every bit of length you were attached to. You just stop wearing it flat. So the swap. Before, long, undefined hair with no layering, hanging heavy at the sides. After, long layered hair with lift at the crown and movement through the mid-lengths. Same length, entirely different energy. Last one is the mistake I almost didn't include, because it's not about the cut or the color at all. It's about what happens to your hair between salon visits, and it might be undoing everything the other 4 fixes just gave you. Part 5. The overstyled stiff finish. The last mistake is styling hair into a stiff, overly set finish. Heavy hairspray, hair sprayed into place until it doesn't move even when you do. This one is sneaky because it usually comes from a good instinct, wanting hair to look done and polished. But stiff, immovable hair reads as dated almost instantly, because movement is one of the strongest visual signals of youth our eyes pick up on, more than any single feature on the face. A hairstyle that doesn't move when a person moves registers, even subconsciously, as older and more rigid than the woman wearing it. The fix is a soft, flexible hold finish using a lightweight mousse or texturizing spray instead of a stiff hold hairspray, applied while the style still has some movement left in it. Ask for this phrase. Flexible hold product, texturizing spray, not a stiff set finish. The mechanism is simple. Flexible hold products coat the hair without gluing the strands together into one fixed shape, so individual pieces can still separate and shift naturally. That separation is exactly what reads as touchable, natural, and current, instead of sculpted and untouchable. Here's the result that actually lands with people. Hair with soft, flexible movement invites a kind of warmth that stiff hair doesn't. People register it, even if they couldn't say why, as more approachable and more present. There's also a practical win here. Flexible hold actually survives a real day better than a stiff set does, because it doesn't crack or flatten unevenly the way heavy hairspray does by hour 6. You get more movement, and it holds up longer. That's the trade nobody explains at the counter when they're selling you the extra hold can. So the last swap. Before, a stiff, heavily set style that doesn't move with her. After, a soft, flexible hold finish with natural separation and movement throughout. 5 swaps. One common thread. Every single fix in this video was about giving your hair somewhere to move. You now know the 5 cuts and colors quietly working against you, and more importantly, you know the exact words to say at your next appointment to fix every one of them. That's not a small thing. That's walking in prepared instead of hoping your stylist reads your mind. Which one of these 5 did you recognize yourself in the most? The bang, the bob, the color, the length, or the finish? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. Next week I'm covering the accessory choices that are quietly aging your whole outfit, not just your hair, so keep an eye out for that. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.